Hello everybody and welcome to the Chessbait Drivecast, your one-stop shop for really bad controversial opinions and really bad controversial topics. Now, today on the chopping block, we're going to be talking about the movie Inside Out. As I promised last time, I actually did listen to the recording and make sure that I talked to you guys about Inside Out. So, buckle up your seatbelts and get ready for a wild ride. So, Inside Out is a movie that came out in sometime in the 2010s. I don't want to bother looking up the actual information about it because none of you guys care about the statistics. All of you guys care about the actual story. So, the whole idea about moving away, personally, I can't relate because the one time that I moved away so young that it didn't really impact me so much. Like, sure, I got to know a bunch of people when I was basically a preschooler really well. However, that doesn't mean that it really impacted me in terms of being able to make new friends and not saying goodbye to old ones. I basically lived in the same region for a good, 12, that's not even 12, I'm pretty sure it's like 14, 16 years now. Yeah, 15, 16 years now. So since it's been that long since I've lived in the same area, I have the same friends that I've always had. Okay, that's a lie. I've always had, I've had to mix and match certain friends because certain people get toxic or certain people kick you out of your life for no apparent reason. But we're not going to dwell upon that. Today we're here to talk about Inside Out, not my personal affairs. So yeah, the whole idea behind having different emotions was, I get the whole idea. It makes sense. I find it hilarious that everybody is comparing the Emoji Movie to Inside Out because of the fact that both of them are feelings that end up having feelings. Despite the fact that those two movies cannot be any more different. Like, sure, there are emojis in other people's phones as well, but the emojis really have only one personality. And sure, you can make the same claim about the emotions in Riley's head. But then again, like, I don't remember the last time that sorry, it's really hard to drive and talk at the same time. Don't drive and talk, kids. It's usually not good. Focus on your driving. Anyways, there are times when fear shows genuine sadness or actually no, I take it back. Fear, I don't know. The thing I don't like about fear is that like I understand where the emotion comes from, but like, I don't know. I just don't like that there's only one good emotion and multiple bad emotions, and because of that, only one emotion dominates all of the memories. And I get it. The reason happiness is the only positive emotion is because they're supposed to represent how happiness, joy, overcrowds all the other emotions, and it's supposed to be like a dictatorship. When you're a kid, you're always supposed to be happy. But the whole point of the movie is to tell you that it's okay to be sad sometimes. And speaking of sadness, first of all, not recently, but the last time I saw any analytical video on it, I found out that Phyllis from the freaking Office voices sadness, and my gosh, that is a straight up vibe. I did not realize that was the case, and I wish I knew earlier, because Phyllis from the Office embodies sadness 100%, and I absolutely am here for it. I think I could be wrong. It could be Amy Poehler that plays happiness or joy, which I would say is a good fit. Amy Poehler's a great person. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if she really embodies joy, but she did a great job at the voice acting. So I'm not going to put anything against her. 10 out of 10 performance. I personally can't even remember who the other three voice actors were, and I couldn't care less. Riley, I understand that. I get that she's supposed to be the Andy of the story. She exists kind of outside the realm of our main characters, and because of that, like, they're not really supposed to matter as much. But I don't know. Like, I will admit I did cry at the scene where Riley gets back with her parents. No, I did not cry at the what was it? I did not cry at the Bing Bong scene. I don't care what you guys say. I'm not heartless because I cried at the Riley scene instead. I get that Bing Bong had to vanish, but, like, come on. I knew there was going to be something even sadder than that coming up later, which I did end up tearing up in. The scene where Riley gets back with her parents, man, that got me. That's the thing that got me. People talk about how they could have, joy and sadness could have just sent the emotions back up to the core hub memory thing, which is supposed to be like this giant plot hole. And back when I didn't have as much of an analytical and scientific mind, I mean, sure, I still had an analytical mind, but, like, I didn't really think things through back then. I mean, I still don't think things through now, but, like, I think things through more now. I tried to say that thing's 10 times fast. Yikes. So, yeah, people try to argue, hey, you could just send the core memories back to HQ and everything's all good, bada bing, bada boom. However, you must realize that each memory has a bit of each emotion in it. And if you send it back to the HQ, because only the three worst, I don't want to say worst, but, you know, the three most negative emotions are left, once you send the core memories back, it's only gonna make things worse. Think about it. Sure, pretend that you don't have any core memories. You're a clean slate and you lose sight of yourself. But imagine if you regained those memories back, the core memories back, but now they're in an even worse manner. Like, all you remember is the stuff that you absolutely hated through anger, the stuff that you absolutely found disgusting through disgust, the stuff that you absolutely fear through fear. You wouldn't want to live a life like that, would you? I mean, sure, being emotionless is technically worse and all, and you can have the whole debate over apathy is actually worse than anger and sadness and all that, but blah, 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 blah. We're moving on from that, all right? We're moving on from that. All I'm saying is that if you send the core memories back to HQ, we're not going to have a good time, because the core memories would be impacted by the other emotions and would actually corrupt them even further. I really like the idea of mixed emotions, memories having mixed emotions at the end of the movie. That was a really nice touch, I will admit. The thing I want to know is, how did Joy not realize that a core memory could have both sadness and happiness? Like, come on. I get that the whole point of the movie is to have Riley learn, have Riley's Joy. Why am I thinking of Riley? The whole point of the movie is to have Joy realize that, hey, sometimes sadness is good, but, like, if she had a memory where sadness did exist, especially with, like, where she lost the hockey game and she's crying near the tree on the pond. You guys remember that scene? Why, like, both sadness and joy existed in that little snippet there. So why didn't Joy realize that, you know, like, it has both sadness and happiness, and maybe she should realize sadness is okay. And then midway through me talking about that, I realized, oh yeah, Joy's an absolute dictator and, like, an absolute villain. The nice thing about Pixar movies is that the villain is never, like, a clear person. Like, sure, in Finding Nemo, like, there's Darla, obviously, and technically the fisherman and P. Sherman, and there's also the sharks and all that, but, like, they're only minor characters. Like, even in WALL-E, sure, the autopilot, Otto is technically the villain, the twist villain or whatever, ooh! But, like, Otto is, as many critics have explained, he's just the embodiment of the human ignorance and how we can basically drive ourselves out of our own planet because we're not willing to save the Earth whatsoever. Toy Story, we find out that there really is no villain. Like, sure, Sid you can consider a villain, but I'd say the main villain is technically Woody. Like, he's the protagonist, and there's a lot of things to hate about him, and there's also a lot of things to love about him. That's why I love Pixar movies so much. There's no, like, straight villain. Like, sure, you can have some really bad twist villains every now and then, but besides that, see Cars 2 for really bad twist villains. Like, you can have bad twist villains every now and then, but, like, those are the movies that nobody ever likes anyways, and, like, those are only ever used for merch. Like, seriously, the thing I have to applaud Pixar about is the fact that Cars and Cars 2, they're just a cash grab. Everybody knows that. even Cars 3, like, sure, you made it for story, and the story was fine, but in the end, like, you know, it's still a cash grab, because the only, I'm pretty sure Cars is the second most lucrative, actually, no, yeah, no, if you're talking in terms of merch sales, merchandise, Cars absolutely dominates every other movie for the amount of revenue that they get from each movie. Like, I'm not joking. I'm being serious. They get so much money from it. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Anyways, it seems we've arrived at a destination. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff down below. And as always, I will see you guys next time in another episode of the Chessbait Drivecast. Why won't my garage open? See you guys later.